Good morning, everyone. This is a wonderful way to start a Sunday morning. My neighbor texted me to let me know I had one of my tall hives up here in my strongest yard. It turned over. And upon arriving here, I decided to come up here and look immediately and then gather what I need because I didn't know what I was going to be up against. But it looks like it just fell flat to the side, and I'm just simply going to be able to restack it back up with minimal damage. Even the queen excluder is not damaged. I was expecting that possibly to be ruined. So looks like all I'm going to have to do is just get me a smoker and a bottom board. Now the root cause of this is the bottom board, which I knew it was rotting away a couple months ago, but you can see right there where it gave way and causing it to tilt over. So I've got like about 100 bottom boards ready, so I'll run back and get one and my smoker and get it lit up and get this stood back up. So I think this will be minimal impact. We did get a big rain yesterday, and I can tell right there there's water standing in the lid. They did get a rain. I'll most likely wait towards the end of the harvest to get these, or at least a day or two into it. That'll give the bees time to kind of straighten it back up in there and dry it out. But as you can see, there should be just a little bit of minimal water actually got in the hive. So I'm going to pause it out, get my stuff, get it stood back up. We'll carry on from there. All right, it's about 40-45 minutes later. I got the hive back up on a brand new bottom board. Now, something I did different is notice how I have the blocks on each end of that right there. I went ahead and took the time and turned them sideways, and that's what I'm going to do going forward. After I pull honey and cools down a little bit, I'm going to put these brand new bottom boards on all these colonies and turn them sideways. That'll help eliminate them turning over, and it's more stable. There's so many bees still in this colony, I'll let you go ahead and just put them all back on here. They should clean it up. And surprisingly, they're still getting some nectar. Of course, there's a tremendous amount of bees in this colony. Hey, every one of them boxes had probably at least 6 or 7 frames of bees in it. It's amazing. But this is a colony that superseded back about 3 years ago, probably early July, and I haven't requeened it since. But something of interest I noticed when I was setting those boxes back up, I saw some of the adult pupa that's been uncapped. That's one of the resistance traits that I've heard Randy Oliver talk about recently. And just on a frame or two that I saw there, I saw quite a bit of that. So maybe this colony started to get some of that resistance. And something else that's interesting to me is, there's absolutely no robbing going on, and actually a little bit of honey trying to come out the entrance there. But there's so many bees in there, they'll clean that up in no time. But if you can picture the box this way, which was where it was laying right there, I estimate it was laying there at least 2 weeks, because each box had comb drawn on that side all the way up. There's some that I put out on the ground. I'm gonna let the bees clean that up, and I just basically left it from there up, and I'll deal with it. It's just going to take too much time, but I'll deal with it at harvest time, and they'll clean that up. The queen excluder was still sealed to the box, so I feel like the queen, if she's still alive, is down below. But the bees was really calm. Only got stung one time doing all this. They was not aggressive at all. That's the second time that's happened to me. That's one of the reasons I'm going to get away from stacking this hive. It is just too much work. It looks good, but it's just too much work, and especially when one turns over. So I just got lucky in the way that the boxes fell. You'll see there was an ant colony had got started right there, and there's some carpenter ants over there, and there's right there's what the side of the box looked like. The lid was upside down. It was standing in water, and I went ahead and left them some ventilation up there where they can help them dry that out. And I'll probably make sure it's at least a week or so before I pull these supers, and that should give them ample time to get that cleaned up. A day or two from now, this won't look the same. Surprisingly though, they're getting some nectar and pollen somewhere. I've actually went down through and looked at all these. They're bringing in pollen pretty good for late July. I don't know where they're getting it around here. So right here's the root cause of the colony tipping over. It's just simply this bottom board is probably 4 or 5 years old. This is a design I come up with during when I run string bottom boards a lot, I can build these for, at that time I could build these for about $4 a piece. And, you know, if you buy them in the catalog, they was like $18, $20 a piece. But that just simply gave way, and I knew its time was about out, and I was hoping to get use out of it till honey harvest, and then I can replace it with those. So I've got 100 of those ready to go. And you notice they're not painted, they're wax dipped. I cooked them about a month or so ago in the paraffin microcrystalline mixture, so hopefully those will hold out for a long time. But with the way this was sitting on the block, it just gave way right there and slid down, and it was just enough to topple it over. And I can say without a doubt that colony is definitely full down to the queen excluder. Every one of them supers right there. That topping was just a little bit light. It's probably 2/3 full, but the rest of them are full of honey. There's even 2 or 3 frames of honey in the deep down there, so there's a lot of honey on this box right here, or on this colony. Well, I've got this task done. I got to get down, and I'm running a little bit behind on getting my honey pool this year, so I'm trying to get my building ready. I'm about a half a day's work away from getting it ready, so hopefully I'll be starting to pull some of these supers within a day or two. And this is traditionally the week I've been for probably 10 or 15 years. I've traditionally pulled honey this week of the year, so I'm behind where I wanted to be this year, but historically I'll be right on time. So I just need to try to get these off and extracted in the next week and a half, and I'll be just fine. I'll just have to work a little bit harder. So hopefully that's not too big of a deal. Time I come back around, hopefully they'll have that all straightened out. And incidentally, in this yard right here, while I'm on a video here and I'm here at it, I'm expecting about 52 supers of honey off of these 7 colonies total. And if that comes to fruition, the only question I'm going to have is, are they full down to the excluder? If they are, we're looking at probably in the neighborhood of 230 pounds per colony right here, which is a pretty good harvest in my book. And by my estimates, if I'm going to get somewhere probably between 175 and 185 mediums total off of my colonies, and 15 of those will be off the package bees and nuke colonies, and be like 168 or 169 will be off of 30 colonies. So that'll be a pretty good harvest, by far the most I've ever got, if all those are full, and time will tell. But like I say, that one there was definitely full to the excluder, so, but I don't know about these others, so we'll find that out here in a few days. Well, appreciate you for joining me for this video today, and we'll catch you on the next one.